let's say if the other team, if any of you watch basketball, you remember watching when Phil Jackson would coach teams, his team would be losing. Let's say they're not losing, but they'd be in the middle of a game against the opponent, and the opponent would go on a run. And this happens in basketball a lot. If you watch basketball today, if the other team goes on a run and scores, let's say 10 points in a row, and the home crowd is going crazy because the home team scored 10 points in a row against the opposing team's coach, usually happens every single time, jumps up off the bench, calls timeout. And the whole point is to kind of stop the bleeding, try to slow down the momentum of the other team, and get his team back into a positive momentum state. Phil Jackson, on the other hand, he was well known to often not call timeout in situations in which the players expected a timeout. Because often you'll see when the team has given up 10 points in a row, you'll see the players on the opposing team, they're looking over at the bench, expecting the coach to jump up and call timeout. Usually that's exactly what the coach does. But Phil Jackson, he would often just be sitting. He wouldn't even be standing. He would be sitting on the bench, and he'd just be sitting there looking very calm. He might be a little bit annoyed with his team for making the mistakes that they're making, but he often would call timeout a lot more slowly than other coaches would call timeout in those situations. And he would do it to force his team to learn how to deal with the adversity of the situation without him jumping in and saving them. They'd be looking over at him, and he wouldn't do anything, and he'd just be looking back at them. And they would have to keep playing, and they would figure it out. And this helped build the mental toughness for his team, so that when they got into real serious situations, such as the playoffs or the NBA Finals, they didn't lose their heads when the other team went on a run.